Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Dustin back with another review for the listening room. Today, I wanted to talk about something that came out a couple of months ago, but I was just listening to it this morning, and I wanted to talk a bit about it. This was a exclusive for Record Store Day or Record Store Day Drop, whatever you want to call it. This came out back at the end of August, so it's been out for a couple of months, and on its initial release, I wasn't really sure what it was. I saw it in the store. I actually went Record Store Day to pick up something else and saw this there, and I wasn't sure what it was. It wasn't for a couple months later when a buddy of mine played it for me that I realized that that this was something unique and cool. I'm talking about Changes Now Bowie. There've been a couple compilations released with the Changes Bowie name attached to them, and I saw this on Record Store Day, and I looked at the track listing, and for whatever reason, not knowing anything about it, I assumed it was just that, just a compilation. And it wasn't until a couple months later, like 2 weeks ago or so, that a buddy of mine played this for me, and I realized that it's not at all just another compilation. This was it's actually a live recording. There is no audience, so it doesn't give the vibe of a live recording. You don't hear any crowd noise, anything like that. There's no in-between song banter or anything. It's just the tracks. These were tracks that were recorded at the rehearsals for David Bowie's 50th birthday concert, which was held at Madison Square Garden. The tracks were recorded. They were actually broadcast on the BBC, and in between the songs, you would get snippets of interviews, or an interview with Bowie, and then there were, a cast of people that were wishing a happy birthday to Bowie. People like Damon Albarn from Blur and the Gorillaz, or Bono, or Robert Smith of The Cure. Excuse me. But it finally got a proper release for Record Store Day this past August. And if you are a Bowie fan and you haven't heard this, this is absolutely phenomenal. These versions of it's almost like a David Bowie unplugged album, with the exception of maybe one track. Acoustic arrangements, the whole thing feels just very cozy and warm, soft. The track, look at the track list real quick. It opens up with "The Man Who Sold the World." Really cool take on that. It's got like some sitar in it, and I don't know if it was a nod to Nirvana because they had made the song so famous a few years prior with their version on Unplugged, but that one kicks it off. The title track from Aladdin Sane, which is really cool. It's actually vocally, it's a duet between Bowie and Gail Ann Dorsey, who was Bowie's bass player from around 1995 up until his death, actually. And she does a really good job of it's duet between the two of them, and her vocals sound phenomenal. White Light, White Heat, which is actually a Velvet Underground cover. That's the one moment I was referring to where it's not so much of an unplugged sound. That's more of a rocking version of that song. But everything else on here, Shopping for Girls, which actually goes back to Bowie's work with Tin Machine, if you remember them. They did a couple of records together. Lady Stardust, of course, from Ziggy Stardust and the Spiders from Mars album. The Supermen, which is also from The Man Who Sold the World. I think it's actually the closing track on The Man Who Sold the World. Cool side note about the Supermen: the guitar riff for that song was actually written and given to Bowie by Jimmy Page. They shared a producer in the mid-'60s. Page had this riff. He asked Bowie, "Hey, can you do something with this?" And Bowie actually ended up using it on the closing track of The Man Who Sold the World, called The Supermen. And the track actually, or the riff made an appearance 25 years later on David Bowie's Earthling album, and on a track called Dead Man Walking. So cool little side note. The Supermen riff written by Page. Repetition from the Lodger album, kind of an oddity in the track listing. And then it ends with two Hunky Dory tracks, Andy Warhol and Quicksand. Quicksand, great tune. You know, lots of Bowie's interest in the occult and Buddhism, and he even name drops Winston Churchill, Aleister Crowley, talks about the Golden Dawn, all that stuff. But yeah, if you haven't heard this, these are getting they're getting a little they're kind of hard to find now. I actually was surprised I found it. I didn't even know it existed on CD. I thought record store day meant vinyl. I guess I was wrong about that. But if you can track down a copy of this, or even if you can stream it, I know it's on Apple Music. I'm not sure if it's on Spotify or any of that stuff, but absolutely check this out. It is a fantastic, fantastic release. And the idea of the way the songs are performed, considering this time, because this was recorded in 1997. This came out in between Outside, which was very, like, almost industrial album, very heavy for Bowie, and then Earthling, which is super drum and bass heavy, and then right in the middle of it, you get this gorgeous little acoustic set, and yeah, this is just phenomenal. If you can track it down on vinyl, if you can track it down on CD, stream it, whatever, just listen to this. You'll love it. I promise. It's fantastic. If this is the first time you're seeing us, leave a comment. Let me know if you've heard this. I'm curious how many people have heard this and what you guys think of it. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, all that stuff. Hope you guys have a good day. We'll see you next time.